Hey Zenman! So, I have been doing a little bit of investigation and trying to sort of put together various bits of information from different sources and asking particular questions that don't seem like they're leading but actually are. And I'm just trying to sort of gather together not so much evidence but like logical streams of information that hopefully knit together. For I am the Weaver. Direct Bill Hicks quote there. If you don't know Bill Hicks, look him up. Anyway, what I'm discussing is this puppy. Now, admittedly, this is just a render. This is just something somebody stuck up online. I took the image, blew it up nice and big, and I thought, I'm going to talk about that because that looks interesting. And here's the thing, right? Quite some time ago, when the idea of the PlayStation 5 would have an expansion bay, before it was even out, I asked at my favourite game store, hey, see how that PlayStation 5's got an expansion bay? Will you guys be selling the expansion modules? And the guy behind the counter said, oh, probably. And I asked a different game store, and I got pretty much the same response. So with that in mind, when I saw these come out, you know, the previous 4 expansion modules that I spoke about in a couple of videos ago, I was like, I'm going to ask around in a couple of game stores and ask like 3 different employees, you know, see these PlayStation 5 SSD expansion modules, will you guys be selling them? And all 3 employees, now admittedly this isn't like a vast survey, but they all told me virtually the same thing. It's sort of like, we're not going to be selling any third-party ones, but if PlayStation was to do one of their own, we would totally sell that. And I said, is that likely to happen? You know? And they said, probably. So that got me thinking, right? Sony could do one of these, and if they did, that would actually be kind of interesting. And here's why it might actually happen. For instance, right now, there are hordes of people around the globe with PlayStation 5s who have taken part in the beta for the next update, which will service and run and operate the SSD expansion modules. All lovely jubbly so far. You with me? Of course you would be. You're the same fam. You're an intelligent bunch. That's why you click this channel. I kid. Anyway, so we've got these expansion modules. We've got this beta program going on at the minute, right? What are they doing in this beta program? They're gathering data about the usage of the modules in the machines through different case usages, different types of data stored, how the data flows back and forth between the memory of the expansion bay and the game system and the game's performances. Which is interesting because a lot of them have actually been proven to be slightly faster in the game producing than the one already in the machine, and that has been attributed to the fact that these don't actually have to have the UI on them. They just do game data and that's all they do. You don't have to worry about holding the operating system together or any of that. They're straight up just memory for games, which is a lovely prospect. Because as I'm sure you're all aware, whenever you have a system, be it a computer, a phone, a game system, a smartwatch, whatever it is, a certain amount of its memory has to be taken up with the operating system, the OS. Okay? So with that in mind, these don't have to do that, so it could be just straight up memory. It'll be one of the few occasions in console gaming where all the memory that's available is actually just for gaming and not for anything else. That is not quite revelatory, but it's close to it. And what's great about this option here, if this exists, and I certainly hope it does, means that Sony can come out and go, hey, you know how Microsoft have got this one expansion module that you plug in the back? You've only got the one, and it's only theirs. We have got these 4 companies that are doing it, with possibly more to come, and we've got our own one. We give you options. That's big, considering Sony have been known in the past for proprietary tech. You know, proprietary cabling, proprietary memory cards, i.e. the Vita. I mean, if you go back in the annals of this channel, you know, I loved my Vita. It was a brilliant system. But the memory cards were a serious pain in the bum. But you don't need me to tell you that. You know your gaming history out there. Okay. And what else would be lovely is the idea that because of this beta gathering information, it will basically be able to tell the tech boys at PlayStation all the best ways to make this, you know. They'll be like, have this, do this, don't do this, you know, and they'll have a best case scenario, a best sort of blueprint build idea for how the actual PlayStation 5 NVMe SSD unit for PlayStation 5, dedicated just for PlayStation 5, is supposed to be built, so it runs at optimum efficiency and is guaranteed to cause no problems at all for your PlayStation 5. Now, to me, that is an intriguing prospect, because I don't like to buy third-party equipment if I can help it. Almost everything I've ever bought for my various PlayStations over the years has, aside from like I think one thing, has all been first party. And the only thing I've used for one thing I used, that was a present. So I couldn't very well turn around and go, well, you see, I only use first party, so I'm afraid I'm going to just have to chuck your present in the bin. Yeah. I'm not some kind of monster. You know, if somebody gives me something out of the goodness of their heart and they've spent their hard-earned money on it, I'm not going to turn round and just be that kind of callous monster of a human being and just sling it out. Somebody's actually thought about me and given me something for the thing I love, so I use it. But obviously, if I could get hold of the first party version, because let's face it, I'm skinties, then I would use that. But that particular bit of equipment is not cheap, so there you go. So all in all, you know, if I could get this puppy, if this ever gets to exist, then I will very happily do that, because I really like the look of this and I like first party. And what's more, if I get it from, because I'll be able to get this from game, because this would be the first party solution, then that would mean two things. One, I would get points on my game card, and I'm an elite user, so I'd get even more points. And I've got like about, you know, a serious amount of points on my card as it stands. I've got over 100 quid. So I'm most of the way there for even the smallest version, which is what I would want anyway. I don't need loads of space, I just want a bit more. If I can get to about a terabyte of space combined, then that was fine. I could live with that. You know, because that would put me on the same footing as I had on my 4, because my 4 is up to a terabyte. I upgraded that on day 1. I was ready to go with the screwdriver, whap that puppy in, cost me 45 quid, job done. So if I'm able to buy this solution here, that would be wonderful. And I get the points and yada yada yada. and I've got the ability to know that whatever I buy in this form works. And of course, PlayStation's gathered the data, and hopefully, it's built in all the ways that Sony wanted to be built. So I really, really hope that this little fella here actually comes out and works and does everything I need it to do. But of course, I could be deeply wrong. And maybe you know better than me. So, as I've implored you in the past, typey down below, let them bloke know. What do you think? Do you think I'm talking out of a hole in my head? Or do you think I'm onto something here? Hit me up in that comments. Okay guys, I think I've rattled on for quite long enough. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Hashtag support Scottish YouTubers. And of course, as always, aye, nae bother.